Are you being honest with what you want? Are you being honest with yourself?
Endings are so beautiful too.
They are.
And it's hard to see it that way because your heart sometimes aches a little.
Welcome to another episode of Unpacked and Unfiltered. I'm Bexx.
And I'm Noie.
Okay, how many times do we sit down, we make those New Year's resolutions?
Ugh.
This is the time of year.
I know. And we think we're going to be, that different person all year and not change a single thing. Like, we'll try to have these temporary habits. We're like, oh, these are going to be the new habits of the year. And then it happens for a month and then you don't.
And I really want to dive into thinking about that person that we want to become. And a lot of the time we sit down, we're like, oh, I was going to do all these things last year. I was going to become this person. And sometimes we feel shame, we feel guilt, we feel these things of, I'm not this, I'm not that.
Do you remember the time, and I'm not trying to tangent off, but it kind of has to do with this, the time you and I talked about why clean slates are kind of a toxic thought in my own, this is how I see it. I don't want a clean slate because I want the lessons I've learned. And when we were children, we guilted ourselves, or we were taught to guilt ourselves so much if we didn't change certain things about us.
Yes.
And every time we would be for me as a child, I'm I'm not going to say any potty words for a week. And it was a day, and it was and then I would guilt myself so badly because I screwed up, and I feel as we do little things like that throughout life, and if we don't do,
to become the person that they were telling you that you needed to be.
Yeah. And then when we didn't, it was this big evil thing, and we just, and we shut down because of the guilt, because of the shame, because of the, I'm not good.
Oh, there's so much I want what we're going to talk about today that is so good, you guys, because there's a very clear message that we want to give you today. And it is that person, and I want you to sit down and do the same thing you always do. I want you to sit down and write this person that you see yourself being, that you would love to be, and what this person really clearly looks like, because
without a clear vision of what the person you want to become, what are we even doing? It's literally just wandering, which is fine too.
And the reason I really want you to create it is because, now this is going to be mind blowing, but this is truth. This person is you. This person already exists.
Yes.
This is not some far manifestation in some parallel universe that is galaxies away that you cannot access because you don't have it in you to access.
Yeah.
This person is real. And it is the closer version of you than the you that is walking around in your life that is stressed and that is strung out. And what we're going to talk about today is how to access this you that is already existing. And what it is going to take is peeling back the other layers, the layers that is blocking this you from being accessed. And what brought this other you into fruition in the first place? The you that feels the shame, feels the guilt. The you that is blocking this beautiful, joyful, true self from realization.
Yeah. I feel that's a big one because a lot of us don't really know how to bring her or him to life.
And doesn't believe it exists.
Yeah.
There's a belief that that's bullshit.
Yeah. It's like a imaginary friend.
Yes.
You're aren't they real or are they not?
Yeah,
they
whatever.
seem real. I see parts of them occasionally, and sometimes it might be a smolder inside of you that you just know is there. You feel it and you just don't know how to put gasoline on that fire and make her come to life. I feel sometimes that's how I was for years in my marriage, is I knew I wanted to be over here. I knew I wanted to be living this life, but I didn't know how to get there. And I didn't truly know that it was real. I knew that's what I wanted. I just didn't know how to bridge those worlds. And that's the thing with becoming the best version of yourself, is you also have to go through the steps in life to shed the things that are no longer useful in your lifestyles as it changed. Because life changes so many times in, say, a couple of years. You can change so much in a couple of years, learning to let go of pieces that no longer serve you, that are no longer...
Well, and it's the letting go of the layers of the person that you were told to be, that culture molded you into, and it's getting back to that true self that you were born with. That over time, you put on coats, you put on layers to just exist, to be able to make it in society, to be able to just fake it.
Yeah.
And how do we not fake it?
It becomes, you either become very, I feel like this is kind of how, there's like 3 categories in my mind of the types of personalities. Like you either become very authentic and everything's on your sleeve, or you become a very good actor, or you put everything away and you just don't express anything. Like that's my idea of 3 levels of the person in action. Like, which one are you? And it changes throughout time.
And it's not a fantasy, this person. It is a real self. Yeah. And it's really interesting. I just came back from a Corey Muscara retreat, which...
I want to hear everything about this retreat.
I feel so full, and And I love how he describes that this person that we're going to find in ourself is the true self that, and I know that Tully speaks about this, a lot of spiritual leaders speak about this, but it is the person that we need to access that's deep inside. And a lot of people, when they talk about spiritual awakening, or they talk about a higher level of consciousness or coming down to that point, it is finding the you that, that pure self that you first came to earth with. And before you were told that it's not okay to be you, it's not okay to access that. It's not okay, the Noie, the Rebecca, the Bexx that before. So I kind of want to get into that a little bit.
I love that. There's so many layers to this that I can't wait to dive in. What do you got?
So what happened to her? What happened to, or him? What happened to that person that came to earth, that was set into their parents' arms? What happened to that person? What made you lose the essence of who you are, the person that you want to be on that New Year's Eve list? What happened?
It's like a program setting. Like, our parents were programmed this way. Their parents were programmed this way. The great-great-grandparents were programmed that way. And it's just been like this generational next. And before you know it, like we're down to like us as parents, we don't even know why we automatically go to, there's been times in my life as a mom, like there was times where I'd like notice myself doing things like scolding my kids for doing certain things. I'm like, why? What is it hurting? Like it's them expressing themselves as a child. So I think a lot of times our parents program us because that's how they were programmed, or that's how their community did it, or the community before them. And a lot of times it comes down to, we're not in the same world and society as we were, 100 years ago. It's not the same place.
Right.
We aren't evolving.
So would you say that your parents are intentionally or unintentionally taking away your realness from being you?
Unintentional, 100%. I don't think they knew. And
I think it's good to also point out that their parents did it to them. And just as you said, this is ancestral because it's easy, and that is going to help. It is okay to feel anger towards them. It's okay to feel resentment, but then it's also later on to release it. Yeah. Because we can't really access that joy and that love within ourselves until we're able to later, after sitting in it, feeling it, to be able to release it.
Learn from it.
And part of releasing that anger and resentment and whatever we may be feeling towards those that took away our realness, our us, is acknowledging that their intentions were to love. But they were also mixed up in the fact that they weren't really given the opportunity for them to find their realness. And honestly, they probably never will. And that also goes towards maybe past ex-boyfriends or ex-husbands that are also mixed up in the fact that they never really knew who they were. And they may never do their own work as well.
And ourselves,
and
ourselves in relationships. There's things that we did to our partners too.
Yes.
That we had no idea. We had no clue. And so to give other people that same grace of you don't know what you don't know.
Yes. And where were you on your journey at the time of those relationships?
And how actively are you healing those parts of you now that you know? And I feel like a lot of people in today's world are actively working on their self-healing and adapting and changing and becoming better people. I feel like most of humanity are working on that. Whereas, our parents and their parents before them were not. They didn't even know it was a thing. They didn't even know. They just thought that, religion, Christ, all of these things were the only way to be a good human being.
Was through Christ, through another person. Yes. Through him I will be forgiven.
Right.
But it's also through me. And accessing that self, that maybe also it's going back to my past self, my younger self, and forgiving her and giving her grace and being like, oh, I'm so sorry for the tools that you didn't have. And I may also have that grace for my parents or an ex-lover, but I'm also going to have that grace for me. Be like, I am so sorry you didn't know any better and the tools you didn't have. And that it includes the past me yesterday.
Yeah.
That I have more tools today than I did yesterday.
Oh, yeah. And we can go into the ancestral stuff too, later on, but there's so many ways that ancestral trauma also affects the DNA. You can see it. It changes the DNA over time.
There's a great book called It Didn't Start With Us.
Yes.
That touches on this. Yes.
Yeah.
Me and my nerdy books.
That book is way awesome.
Phenomenal. There's some great research cited in that book if you want to access that. At what point do you felt like you chose safety over desire?
I mean,
and you kind of steered away from your true self.
I have always been a bit of a loose end. But I chose safety when it was most important. And this is where I give myself a lot of grace because it was the right thing to do. I stayed in a marriage at a time when I was very unhappy. I felt unloved. I felt like second best. And it was very much in my face. And I was constantly hurting over it. But the truth is it was the right thing to do. In that time, there is a time and a place to choose to be places. For me, my babies were young. They were babies. They were newborns. And I chose to stay there. And it was also throughout my whole pregnancy with the twins because it was the right thing to do. I look back at it now and I went through so much pain and so much, there was so much hurt and pain within the relationship, but yet there was still so much goodness. And I felt like I wasn't ready to step anywhere else. I needed to be in that space in that time. And I think that's really important when you're being a parent. There are phases for a lot of different things and to prioritize the important things. And then when it's time, you'll know. Your soul will know.
So do you feel like at that time you weren't really ready to unravel and figure out who you are and find your true self and manifest
I think I wasn't spiritually aware of anything at that time. I had not woken up. I didn't have a lot of my crazy experience. I hadn't had anything at that time. I was literally just getting by in life, but also I have no regrets with it. I think it's not that I wasn't ready. I was learning the most I could in that time. And that's the other thing is it's all about experiences. It's about learning. And I had one of my energy healers told me once, she's like, you can't skip a phase. You can't go straight to the post-trauma or the post-hurt. You can't skip all the lessons. You have to do the baby steps that get you there. And if you try to skip the lessons, you're going to go right back to that lesson and you're going to learn it again until it sticks, till you see it as a lesson rather than see it as, somebody hurt me, this asshole and that asshole, and they hurt me and that. When you're projecting, you're not observing and absorbing a lesson. And so you can't really skip those things. And so I look back at that time and I wasn't being my authentic self.
And I think that's something we also need to give everybody grace for when they're like, when we talk about accessing your true self.
Yeah.
Are you in a place to do that? And give yourself grace, because maybe you're accessing as much as you can right now.
Yeah.
And maybe you're not in a place that you can do that. So maybe access as much as you can, start the work.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is when you're when you're feeling a fear, when you're feeling a tightness, explore it with curiosity.
Ooh, yeah.
And start asking yourself, why am I feeling afraid? Why am I feeling this feeling right now? And question yourself. Always question yourself. Question your fears. Question your tightness. Question everything.
Yeah.
And because underneath those
Question
questions,
it with curiosity.
with curiosity.
Don't question it with doubt.
Yes, not with doubt.
Yeah, like when you're questioning everything, that's not exactly true.
No.
But like,
Yeah.
question things with curiosity and wanting to learn rather than with doubt. Like if you're feeling, really good about yourself, be
Yeah.
like, what is this that's making me feel so good? Rather than being like, oh, it's a scam. Something's not right.
Yeah.
Why am I,
Maybe we should do a little example between this.
Okay.
Between the two of us. Okay. So tell me something you were feeling.
When? What? Where?
Let's say, when's the last time you had like a doubt about something?
Yesterday.
Okay. Noe, like,
Or today.
That's today. Okay. Oh, that's
Today.
for a podcast.
Yeah.
Here's a good one.
Yeah.
So you're feeling a little uneasy. We had a different subject picked out for today, and you're feeling a little uneasy about
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, and it's okay to dig in. I was like, Noe, why are you feeling a little bit uneasy?
Yeah.
And she's like, it's just not sitting well.
Yeah.
And it's okay to like dig in and ask. And for me, I ask myself why 3 times.
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm feeling afraid about something. And I'm like, I'm feeling fearful. Why are you feeling fearful? And I'm like, well, I'm afraid because of it, because I don't want to go. Well, why don't you want to go
Okay.
somewhere? Well, I don't want to go because there's going to be a lot of people there. Well, what is it about being a lot of people there that scares you? And usually you find that the root is not the root that you think. And that's when you start uncovering that there's more truth beneath all of this than you know. And that's where you find your true self. And my true self underneath all of that is the truth that got masked behind it's not okay to, you always have to be polite. You always have to be this. You always have to put on a smile. And so that's what I mean by getting curious.
Oh, yeah.
You know, get curious, ask questions to yourself about what is really hiding underneath your fears and your doubts, and get very well acquainted with yourself and do what you can.
Yeah, I love that. I love how you said, ask yourself why 3 times. Why am I feeling this? Why am I feeling that? What is
little
this?
deeper with
Yes,
each
I love
question.
that.
Yes.
Like self-discovery.
Self-discovery.
Go on a little adventure with yourself.
Yes, get very well acquainted with yourself.
I love that.
And you're really going to fall in love with yourself again. So, yeah.
I loved this topic on so many levels, especially in relationships.
Okay.
Because, I love relationships. Like, I'm just curious about relationships. Not that I'm really good at them.
You actually are.
I'm just very curious. Choosing relationships that honor your soul rather than your wounds. I feel like a lot of times we focus on, oh, well, this triggers this wound, so I don't want to go there. And I think when you think of it as like, actually, that makes my soul really, really happy. And I also get doubts. So I need to work on the doubts. Like I need to work on the wound so that I can feel my soul. Because a lot of times the soul needs something, but it goes through these gates to get there. You'll always have those back traumas until you heal them, even when you're in a really, really healthy place.
So I think what you're saying is, does this light up my soul?
Does it light up my soul, even if I have to work to get there?
Yes.
That's what I mean.
I love
Like,
it. You guys, there's no perfect relationship.
oh God, no.
I'm so disappointed about that.
There's not. There's no such thing.
That's awful.
Yeah. And everybody in the history of forever has had ups and downs and the doubts and the whatever. and it could be absolute pure bliss, but you still have to go through things that trigger you to understand, oh, that's a past wound. That's a past trigger. I just need to heal it and I'll be fine.
And I think it's important to remember too, like when we're going through those triggers that we're going through ourselves, we're trying to gather ourselves back up, and all the little parts, we're trying to gather them back up and find ourselves again. That we didn't lose ourselves in any big moment in our life. That was all these small little moments and all these small little disconnects and all these, and it could have been in a class at school and a comment that was made. It could have been in church. It could have been that it was all these little disconnects, and it's going to take time to reconnect, to gather ourselves back up.
Yeah.
And we need to be patient with ourselves and gather her back together. And so in these relationships, when we're looking at something that lights us up, is that person also encouraging us and
To grow. Yeah.
And do we feel that growth when we're with them?
Yeah. Growth is so important to me. If I feel like I'm with somebody that can't evolve with me, with change, with over time, like can they keep up with the level of change I want to have?
Yes. I want to progress in a direction, and I'm very in tune to wanting to progress. Are they going to hold my feet down? And are they going to constantly remind me of my failures and my shortcomings and want to criticize me? Because we've had those relationships. There's like, you're not doing this. You're not doing that.
Yeah.
You're not this.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
this.
It's like, bitch, watch me.
Yeah. And it's also, are we doing that as well?
Yeah.
Because it's like, sometimes, like, are you in a relationship where they're twisting your words to make it sound like you're criticizing them all the time?
Yeah.
Like, when you do this, I feel like I'm like, this is not what I'm saying.
And a lot of times it wasn't even about them. It was about you.
Yeah. Every conversation turns into them.
Yes. I loved this and I wrote it down. Realizing self shows up every time you choose authenticity over performance. And I loved that because a lot of times we have to-do lists, especially, at the end of the year and the beginning of the year, there's like this huge to-do list, but you really want to go, you want to make it to the gym, you want to get healthier, or you want to go for a hike, you want to go for a walk, you want to connect with nature, you want to do meditations, all of that. And so, or even in socializing, like you choose to go with the norms, or are you shining as your true self in crowds?
You know what? When you say this reminds me of the second pillar. So when I was at this Corey Muscara, he talked about 10 pillars, and I'm not going to go into all of them. But the second pillar, which was self-honesty, is a prerequisite for change.
Ooh.
So are you being honest with what you want? Are you being honest with yourself? You cannot become your true self. You cannot, and I'm going to say, instead of change, I'm going to use finding your true self.
Yeah.
So if we're looking for her, if we're trying to uncover her inside, if we're trying to discover her because she's there or he's there. So if we're doing that, exactly what you say, and this person doesn't want to go out with the friends when everybody's called, they're like, we're all going out, let's do it. And FOMO starts creeping in, we're like, oh, I don't want to miss out. I don't really want to miss out. But the true self wants to cuddle up on the couch. The true self needs to revitalize. It needs the silence. So that's some true self-honesty. Honesty about everything in your life. So can you tune into that self-honesty?
Even in self-honesty, like not being afraid of the shadow, not being afraid of the dark stuff, and not being afraid to like recognize your failures, your winnings, all of it. Like, no, like looking at yourself, you're like, oh, yeah, I wasn't my best self in this time. Like, and being able to recognize I was off on that podcast, little things like when you did this that one day, you're like, oh, I was so off that day. I'm like, you were?
But you carried us. Yeah. But you have to recognize it all.
Yeah. Not being afraid when you're being authentic, you can't just look at the the bliss and the da-da-da-da-da. You have to be real. I love the fact that he used the word honest. Be honest with yourself on every level. Like, get real. Like, be as blunt with yourself as you would with your friends.
And that's where it's going to become easier when people are criticizing you. It's going to be easier for you to filter what is truth and what is not.
You're like, you think I haven't looked at that 12,000 times?
Yes. Are you saying, you can tell me what your opinion is, and I'm going to filter what I will accept and what I won't.
Yeah.
Because I agree with you on this end, and I don't agree with you on that. I'm actually a badass in these areas, so you can have your opinion, but I just don't agree.
Yeah.
You know, and then these other things, I was like, thank you for the feedback, and I agree with you. I could work on that.
People that do a lot of self-reflecting, like yourself, I think there's like, you can't really get to them as much as some other people, because like, you've gone through it 1,000 times. You've broken yourself down. You've been hard on yourself. You've been good on yourself, but you have all of these incredible qualities about you. And you're like, actually, you can't tell me otherwise, you know?
Yeah, it does. It does also, you have to view yourself in a very different way though. And sometimes it's very tempting to go back to, I think when I look at it, the self that you want to be, that you crave, that like the realized self versus the unrealized self. And I'm going to give you 2 examples of how I can label both. The unrealized self would be, I'm a single mom. I have 7 children. You know,
the pity.
It's a little bit of victimized pity.
Yeah.
You know, I am doing all this on my own. The realized self would be a little bit more empowered. I don't identify as a single mom. I identify as a mother of 7 children.
Yeah.
It's a very different title for me.
100%.
And single's not really in the title. It's like, I'm a mother of 7 children who I'm fucking proud of, and they're amazing. And so everything kind of spins the title. It doesn't even, I don't identify as that.
Yeah.
And you won't hear me say it, you know? So it's how I choose to identify, how I choose to be is just very, very different. And I do find myself slipping into this when I'm angry at their father.
When you need a fucking hug.
When I need a hug, and when I'm feeling weak, and when I'm feeling sad, I feel like myself slipping out of the realized self that I choose to and want to, when I have access to. And when I'm losing access to her, I find myself slipping into different titles, different persona.
Yeah.
You know, that I'm like, that's not the self I want to be, or that I am. And I find myself slipping back and forth to 2 identities.
Well, and I think that's part of
being human.
Yes. Like that's part of your, you know, your trauma and your healed version. Like there's just these, and it's a continual balancing act. I think that's part of like being self-realized, is the fact that you just pointed it out. Like I slip between these 2, and it's like, because you're fucking human. There's light and dark in every single situation in life. And so to just give yourself grace, you know what? Yeah. One day I had a real low moment, and one day I had a real high moment. It doesn't make you any less of an incredible human.
We are human. At the end of the day, we are still
when I'm like,
human.
Man, I was a real bitch the other day.
It's my favorite thing about both of them.
Be real with yourself.
Yes.
Don't short yourself of that, because a lot of times when you see it, you're like, oh yeah.
And there is so much power in admitting it and releasing it. And
there is.
You admit it, release it, and there it goes.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. On that note, I also love the losing yourself versus realizing yourself. Losing yourself, it's funny because when I've talked to people throughout the years, in my single, you know, wild phases, I've heard so many times of people coming out of divorces being like, I'll never lose myself again. I'll never let go again of like my true. And that's exactly what we were just talking about. Like not losing the things that support your soul, the things that you sacrifice to make someone else happy. And especially in relationships, but also in family relationships. A lot of times you'll sacrifice things that you know is good for your soul to make your mom happy, to make your dad happy, to show up for somebody when you need to be doing other things.
Well, and also just because of how it looks to society.
Yeah.
I think especially in our culture, and I think this is indicative to a lot of cultures, we do try to fit into different social groups, whether it be the gym group or the church group, or we tend to abandon ourselves.
Yeah.
And we say yes more than we want to say yes. And we lose self of who we are. We're like, oh, I'm a gym girl now, so I need to be a gym girl and I need to do A, B, C, and D, and I'm going to sign up for this competition and I'm going to, and then we were like, wait, is this me? Is this true to me? Is this what I want? Or now I
think that's an experience thing. Like with doing, your bodybuilding competitions or anything like that, that's just an experience. Nobody can live in that space.
You're right.
And same, being a gym girly, that's a identity development. You absolutely, for years, I did not miss the gym more than 3 days a week.
I know. And
ever.
Yes.
And so it's a development thing. Does that make your soul happy? Or does that make you feel like absolute garbage and you hate it?
Oh, it makes me so happy.
It makes me so happy.
So happy. And I love all my girls that do that, and all of them that compete and stuff. I have so much support and
it
love.
Makes your brain
and some
happy.
of them, that is part of them. It is absolutely part of their identity. And then some others, I'm like, oh, I don't think you actually want to do this. This is fake true to you.
Yeah. This is so maybe try just hiking and go for a walk. That's really not your thing.
Yeah. But who am I to say what is? Only you know what is best for you.
Yeah.
So self-honesty is a prerequisite for change. And then saying yes to what actually excites your soul.
Yes.
What actually lights up your soul. And nobody knows that with you.
And don't be afraid to be brave.
Yeah. Be brave.
Bravery. What was that quote I read to you earlier? Follow that quiet inner pull, not the chaos or anxiety. And intuition is a map. Courage is the vehicle. And I love that, because courage is literally the thing that's going to project you. If you don't, if you're too big of a chicken shit to do something new and to do something uncomfortable, yet your soul's like, let's go. Let's do this. But you shut it down because you're too afraid. You're never going to get that soul light up. If you want your soul to light up, you have to listen to that quiet in there that it is a quiet happy, not the chaos, not the anxiety, not all of that. You have to listen to the little quiet little girl in there being like, oh, I want to try that. I want to do that. Let's go. I want to be that. So let's just start doing little things to get there. And I think that's with the anxiety thing, I'm usually when people experience anxiety, it is their soul screaming at them because they're not listening. And if it gives you anxiety, you need to ask why. What's out of an alignment? Why is your mind screaming at you so loud? A lot of times it'll turn to the body too. Listen to your body and the anxiousness versus the calmness. If you're getting a calm, happy. If it's good for your soul will feel calm. It will feel calm
and excited.
Excited at the same time. It's a quiet,
calm excitement. Yes. Okay. I want to do a visualization exercise.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Shall we do this? Okay. You guys, I'm actually going to have you close your eyes.
Okay.
Everybody close your eyes for a minute. I'm going to try to use my visualization voice.
Ooh.
Okay. I want you, Noie, and all of our listeners.
Can you not do it sexual?
I will try really hard. I don't know how to not do it sexual.
A hand. I'm just joking. Okay. I'm back.
Okay. I want you to picture that you're already living your honest life. And I want you to picture what that looks like. I want you to picture waking up in the morning. And I want to picture you going exactly to the place where you feel most honestly represents who you are. And where exactly does she wake up? And where exactly is she going? And what is she not apologizing for? She's not answering to anybody, but she's being truly who she is, and she's being herself. And what does she feel like right now? And I want you to get a really strong sense of who she is inside and what her day might look like and the people she might associate with and what is not included in her day. And I want you to think about how she's going to end her day. The realized you isn't a future you. She is you. That is the you that is already existing inside of you. How did that make you feel?
Peace. Peace. Because isn't that the whole goal in life? Is to get, we're all fighting to try to be this person. Especially, somebody that's driven to be healed. Mm-hmm. And so it's just like, it's like this moment of like, everything's okay. Mm-hmm. Like it's going to be okay. I don't know. For me, it's
like accessing that you that already exists inside of you. And that's what you guys did. You just now accessed a you that already exists inside of you. It wasn't galaxies away, like we said earlier. It was already inside of you.
I love that. That was beautiful.
And I want to tell you one more thing, if that's okay. Mm-hmm. I want to share an experience I had on this retreat I just went to. And I think this is pertinent to this spirituality or accessing yourself. Mm-hmm. And we were doing a meditation, and Corey talks about when you come as this infant, like I spoke about earlier, and how people will say things to you like I talked about. Mm-hmm. And you start getting ideas of who you are that are just not true. And so while I was doing this meditation, I had this very vivid idea come to me. And in this vision, I guess, this idea that came to me, I saw myself as an infant being placed into my parents' hands. Mm. And my parents had so much love for me. Aww. An overwhelming amount of love. And they loved me the best they could with the tools that they didn't have. Mm-hmm. And they were flawed because of all of the trauma they carried. And my dad had a lot of trauma. He had PTSD from war.
Oh, he was a veteran?
He was a veteran. Aww. And he struggled with some alcoholism after that. And my mom and him got married at 17 and 18. They have 7 children. My mom also helped take care of her family when her mother tried to take her life when she was young. Oh my goodness. So they had all of these that they were also trying to raise their own family. I was 5 of 7. And they loved me as pure as they could. And their way of coping with all of this was to raise me in a very rigid religious home, mm-hmm. where that was the best tools that they could come up with for me. Mm-hmm. And in that realization, there was a lot of things that I was being told what was and wasn't acceptable about me and me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So there was a lot taken away from me, but here I was in this vision being handed to these people that loved me so much, did the best they could. And then in this vision, they handed me over to an ex-boyfriend, and as a baby in this vision, who had a lot of trauma as well and loved me so much, but also didn't have the tools to treat me the way that I could be treated. No fault of his own, by his own trauma that was also passed down from his parents.
Yeah. And he was young.
And he was young.
Yeah.
And didn't know how to love me, didn't know how to treat me.
Probably because of his parents also. Not a good example, or like something to,
And because of that, I also had to mask who I was even more and even further. And in my attempts to want to be me, I would pour out unconditional love and acceptance to these people, to my parents, to him. I was like, I will accept you purely. I will love you purely. And I didn't know how to do that, but I started mastering this art from this age of unconditional love and acceptance. This is when I started trying to. This is going to help you understand me better. And then I, got handed to the arms of my ex-husband. And then another ex-boyfriend, who both, again, loved me so much, but didn't know how to treat me, and some abuse occurred, and all in the name of trying to love me, but having their own burdens, their own trauma
to work through. Yeah.
And then in this vision, and me through the years, also trying to be loved back. And the only way I knew how to do that was to try to teach them and show them by accepting them unconditionally and loving them unconditionally in hopes of getting it back. And I never did.
Yeah.
And what it did and what it taught me was how to love unconditionally and how to accept people unconditionally. And so in this vision, I saw myself reach down and hold this baby and take this child from the last person that hurt me.
Oh.
And say, okay, it's my turn. I do know how to love this person unconditionally. I do know how to accept this person unconditionally. And a realization that is only us that can access that. We are the person that can love our true self. We are the person that can access that.
Yeah, we are. Because we're the only ones that truly understand it.
We are the only person that could truly understand it. And I think what I want to say is that your realized self, you can only love yourself to that. You cannot, you cannot sit in self-hate. You cannot sit in self. That is what's going to block you from seeing you. If you sit in the mirror and you're like, I hate you, or I don't love you,
self-hate or pity will keep you there for a very long time.
It will block you between realizing who you are.
Yep.
You have to sit there and you have to offer yourself that unconditional love, that unconditional acceptance, and nobody's going to do it better than you can.
What do you feel like you experienced with the people that you were passed off to during that time, during that experience?
Love.
Okay.
Love.
Yes.
I love them. And to this day, and I know this isn't going to make a lot of sense, I don't love them more or less than I love other people.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be hard to understand.
Not really.
No. But love, unconditional love and understanding. I think I understand them. It wasn't their fault.
No.
But I do love them.
Yeah. That's not hard to understand.
So
it's universal love. It's and you also have to have a level of love and compassion for the experience, which will open up that love and compassion for them.
And also understanding that if I hadn't gone through all of this, I wouldn't have been taught the need to have unconditional love and acceptance. Had I not been neglected and wanting it so badly.
Yeah. And it's the same concept as you can only, we naturally love someone the way we want to be loved. And so by you having that lack of, support in a few things throughout your life that you needed in different ways, now you know how to do that for other people.
Yes.
And I think that's a self-realization that's so beautiful that a lot of people haven't even tapped into that, mainly because they're so stuck in their own little circle. They're like, actually, this is beautiful that I got to experience this. That's amazing that happened for me, not to me, but for me to evolve, to take the lessons to grow.
Yeah. Well, and that you have to offer it to yourself first so that you can give that to everybody around you.
Yeah. And by offering it for yourself, you don't have that lack. Like it's okay if you're not getting it from other people.
Yeah. And it's going to bring so much more to a relationship where it's like, I don't have to suck this out of you.
I don't need this from you. Exactly. Because I know that
I can get it from myself.
I can provide it to a degree.
To a degree. Yeah. I do need stuff.
Yeah. We do need things out of relationships Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you for sharing the stuff from that retreat. I was living vicariously through you.
Oh, I do that with you all the time.
Oh,
especially your relationship.
Oh, I know. It's so fun. This one struck me. Not every ending is a failure. Your soul shuts doors your mind would have kept open forever. Realizing self means trusting the ending as deeply as the beginning. And that is just, I'm sorry, but I feel like we get so excited about beginnings and we're like, okay, I'm just going to go for it.
The honeymoon phase.
Yeah, all of it. Like whether it's a new job, a new career, a new relationship, a new friendship, but whatever it is, a new hobby. And you're just like excited about it. You're like, okay, here we go. But like endings are so beautiful too.
They are.
And it's hard to see it that way because your heart sometimes aches a little. But knowing that also, when doors close, it opens up so much more space for new growth, for new excitement. And there's so much beauty in endings. They're really like, and trust me when I say there's so much beauty in endings, and it's not, and when we're talking life too, it's not endings. Like when you lose someone, it's not a forever thing. It's just all right, that's where we're at right now,
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. That's such a deep wisdom.
That's
beautiful.
Finding that one made me happy.
Okay. Well, thank you, Noie.
Yeah, thank you for the chat, and thank you guys for joining us.
Until next time. Toodaloo, motherfuckers. Toodaloo, motherfuckers.